All right, guys, so I take out the Gideon optics to the range. Now, if you want to stick around and see me throw this thing on the ground, beat it up, and actually put more abuse on this than what you would ever do to your own optics, you might want to stick around because it actually may surprise you. First of all, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, FATTAC.com. That's where you can go and find anything for plus-size guys that like tactical stuff. Plate carriers, plates, belts from Blue Alpha that are unlimited sizes, FATTAC holster, apparel, and all that stuff. Check it out at FATTAC.com because they have everything for the bigger guys. All right, so we're out here with the Radical Firearms AR or RF-15. This thing has the Gideon Optics Advocate on it, and it also has a Romeo. I really don't know the name of this thing. I know it's a SIG. It's not a SIG, it's a Holosun. Sorry, it's a Holosun, and it's got, because we painted over it, see? But basically it has the solar panel on the top. I don't know what model that is. It seemed to work pretty good, and it's actually zeroed pretty good for my eye. Like I said, we spray painted this Radical Firearms. Seems to work okay. It's been thrown around a lot. If you know me, then you know that I'm not too keen on keeping stuff pretty, so I don't really care if I drop it. Kind of like that. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna get out here and we're gonna shoot it. I think we're gonna about 20 yards. I'm gonna pace it out, see if I can keep it on target, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna use an all steel case, and I'm gonna use it in these metal mags. This RF-15 from Radical Firearms. See if we can put it on steel. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. Yeah, buddy, hit steel, baby. Oh yeah, that's awesome. All right, so that dummy zero worked, and it put it on target. So basically what we're gonna do, I mean, it's still zeroed, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna drop it. Here we go, ready? A 6-foot height, dropping the Gideon Advocate along with the Romeo, or Holosun, sorry. All right, here's drop 2. Well, send it the other way. I dropped it on this side the first time. Now I'm going to drop it on this side. So here's, I'm going to bring it up. Here's the second drop. And why not go from buttstock, right? All right, let's see if it's still on the red. Okay, it has stayed on red. Let's see if I can get in there so you can see it. So you can see there, it's still on the red. I think if you can see it that way. Looks like it looks like you can see it. I can see it, and I'm telling you right now, it's still on red, so. Seems like it's still on there. Now, I'm gonna show you what we're actually hitting. What we're actually hitting are those little 8-inch plates, those swingers. We're hitting those on that steel target there. And so basically I'm gonna go ahead and load it up and just show you that from back here at 30 yards, we are actually hitting the plates, the little hostage targets there. Now we're gonna hit the white one to the right side of it. All right, guys, we're gonna do a little bit of drop testing here on the gravel. Man, I really hate to drop this Holosun on its solar panel part, but here goes nothing. Maybe that's the good thing about not having a solar panel. You don't have to worry about busting it, right? So, as you can tell, okay, so look. So it's taking some abuse, okay? We got some still mud on there. Dude, it's actually marred up actually pretty good. Especially, maybe it's just because it was in the gravel though, I don't know. That's probably the white gravel coming off on it. Took a pretty big hit there. Did not hurt the glass, doesn't look like. Looks like it's still on target to me. We're gonna go sideways now on the gravel. Seems like a pretty solid thud now on the other side. That's pretty solid. From the buttstock again. You know, not to mention this is the Radical Firearms RF-15 test, really, too. Woo! Look at that. My handguard came loose. No kidding. Check it out. Handguard came loose. I can't pull it off. I'm trying to pull it off and I can't pull it off, so I don't think that that's really safe to shoot, especially if you're going to be pulling on it. You can pull this way, but it doesn't feel like I can pull it off at all. So look at the damage to it there. It's taken some abuse, but so is the rifle and everything else. So the Holosun there, check it out. So I'm gonna run another mag through it and see if it stays on target, and I'll put you all back on the actual steel. But to me, man, it looks like it's not losing zero. I mean, it's dead on with the red. This is actually a good way to gauge this, because the red is still on, and if the green is still on the red, it means they're both together. So it hasn't lost any zero at all. Although my handguard came loose from the Radical Firearms RF-15. So I don't dig that at all. I don't like that. But we're gonna continue it. We're gonna throw another mag through it, and I'm gonna show you all the plates so you can see the hit. All right, guys, so we ran about 3 or 4 mags through it. Now we gotta take it home and go see if it'll get on the bench and see what it looks like. Maybe one more time for good measure, right? Maybe one more time. Could we use it as a hammer? Still looks on to me. Well, that tells you that the Holosun is pretty tough and durable too, really. Glass is good. Still super clear, as you can tell right there. Clear and pretty durable, I would say, man. I mean, honestly, hasn't moved at all. No wiggle in the optics whatsoever. Also with the Holosun, no wiggle whatsoever. I would say you're not gonna have that kind of abuse in real world, other than the fact that the handguard came loose. I don't like that. Radical Firearms, what happened to that? I just dropped you a couple times. What'd you do? Why'd that happen? All right, guys, as you can tell, we did give this thing quite a beating. Now, this thing fell on the ground, went on the gravel and the dirt, and also it really survived. I mean, honestly, this thing right here took a pretty big beating. Now, what I can tell you is, if you like the statistics and stuff like that, this ain't the channel for you. I'm just going to tell you what really works. This thing right here seems to be like it's pretty durable. For the price that you pay for this optic, the Gideon Optics Advocate is really not that bad. Everybody always talks about, well, all these optics are cheap and they come from China. Dude, what optics don't come from China? They all come from China. This Holosun that's in front of it, guess what? Came from China. This thing right here, for the money that you pay for this, it's under $300. On FATTAC.com, you get this with free shipping. You really can't beat that at all. But the Gideon Optics Advocate feels really strong. It's a 1x magnification prism optic that has a etched reticle, and it's easier for your eye to see, especially if you have stigmatisms. I actually have astigmatism in both eyes, if you can't tell from the lights and stuff that we have going on, and the glasses I have. This thing right here works great for my eye. Now, what I like about this is the fact that you can actually see the black reticle in here because it's etched in the glass. You can actually still see it if you don't have a battery in it or your battery dies or anything like that. That black reticle is still there until you have another battery. What I do like about this thing is that it's actually 1x power, so you get a little bit more of a distance from it. You can actually get out there and see a little bit better than what you would, kind of like an ACOG or something. But what I like about this thing is the fact that the reticle is actually a circle with a little triangle in the middle. I was able to zero this with the optic that was already on my rifle because it lined up so perfectly with it. And I like the fact that I just kind of dummy zeroed it. But what I'm going to do is actually take this Holosun off. I'll move this up a little bit and we will actually do some precision stuff with this and see how far we can get it out and how accurate it can actually be. Now, what I got to say about the actual toughness of this thing. You can tell the paint and stuff is chipped off. It's still got dirt and stuff around where the battery cover is. It's still got some stuff on it. it did really take a beating, and I gotta say, from all angles, I dropped it from the bottom, dropped it from both sides. It actually held up pretty well. The battery cover still made it on there. The buttons still stayed intact. They still operate. They're functional. None of the lenses were messed up. The sides where the turrets are for windage and adjustment stayed in place. Nothing ever came undone. For the budget price of this optic, of the Gideon Advocate, man, it's really not bad. And for you getting an actual etched reticle optic, I don't know if you can really beat it for the price, to be honest with you. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that it doesn't have a quick detach. This is obviously the mount that come with the Gideon Optics Advocate. It's the one that came with it. I like how it's angled. I like that it sits back a little further. The only problem I don't like about it, it does not have a quick detach. That is something that is a minus in my point of view. But the one thing that didn't happen, or the one thing that did happen, is the handguard of this Radical Firearms actually came loose on me. So I don't like the fact that that happened, but that has nothing to do with the optic. That has everything to do with the AR, and I gotta say, I think that it might be just a little bit of tightness, screws or something like that. Hopefully it's not stripped in there and it's not going to come flying off or anything like that. We're going to get it down there. I didn't really want to do anything to this till I showed you all on camera. I just wanted to treat it as fairly as possible. Now, FATTAC is our sponsor. They have free shipping on all Gideon optics. As you can tell, there's a ton of them out there. They have every single one of them. We have every single one of them. We're going to do videos on all of them. And yeah, I got to say, for this little guy right here, it's pretty tough. And for the budget, I threw this more on the ground than you should ever throw any optic on the ground. And I think that it definitely survived. Now, like I said, if you want the statistics and you want the scientific stuff around it, you just ain't going to find it on this channel. What you are going to find is the fact that I'm telling you if something's going to work or not. If something's not going to work, kind of like this handguard did on this AR here, then I'll tell you about it, because I have no affiliation with those guys. We are not bought by anybody. The only thing is we have sponsors that actually help us out, FATTAC.com and North Coast Tactical. You can go there and check both of those guys out. Those are our main sponsors of the channel. They help us out. They give us the ability to do stuff like this with the Gideon optics and stuff like that. So go check out those guys, and we'd really appreciate it. You can also go to Ballistic King and find all of our branded merch with Black Diamond Guns and Gear. That'd be awesome. You can also go to US Law Show and use our promo code BDGG. That would help us out a lot. You get 14 months for the price of 12, which is amazing. And they do what they say they're going to do, unlike some other companies that are actually out there right now that are dropping people. But the big guys are telling you to stick with them, right? Big guys are telling you that they love them. Yeah, they're dropping people, and US Law Show doesn't. So which one are you going to pick? Guys, if you like this kind of content, I like doing long form videos. We're still going to do long form videos every single week. Please subscribe and also put a like and a comment. It literally costs you nothing to like and subscribe, and it helps out the channel so much. We just hit 75,000 subscribers, and I can't thank you guys enough. Please hit like and subscribe. If you are subscribed or you think you're subscribed, check it to make sure you are, because we all know YouTube likes to play little games. Until the next one, guys, really appreciate it. Like I said, go check out FATTAC, the main sponsor of the channel. We'll see you in the next one. Later.